Hey guys, how we doing? It's Crypto Insight UK here, bringing you back another YouTube video. We've got a few things to discuss today. We're going to talk about Bitcoin to start with. We're going to talk about different perspectives on Bitcoin, some technical analysis, what's potentially causing this decline in the market right now, and then we've got a little bit about XRP and a new ODL corridor, and then a little bit about the UK government, and a tiny bit about Sweden and their CBDC. But let's get into it straight away. So markets bet on sharpest pace of Fed tightening since 1994. As we've seen, there's been a decline in the market the last 2 days. I'm going to get into a few reasons why that might be. Starting with this. So last month we had a 0.25% interest rate hike, so 25 basis points. They're pricing in a further 225 basis point rate hike by the end of this year, which is like nearly a 10x from here. So that means every month for the next, well, you can't even do 10 months in the year, so we've got 8 months left of this year. So that means that in more than one of those months there's going to be a 0.5% interest rate hike or more to be able to hit that target. I personally don't believe this will happen. I don't know for sure, but the Fed are playing a very dangerous game, walking a tightrope between raising inflation rates and causing a recession. So they're raising inflation rates because they want people to want the dollar more, because the dollar's obviously inflating. But the more they do that, the more aggressively, the more chance they have of crashing their equities market, which obviously in turn is bad again for the economy. So they're in a very strange place. But as you can see, it's heading for 8%, a rate not seen in 40 years. So, and at the minute, the stock market is still pretty high. We recovered from last month. We recovered after the 2.25% interest rate hike. So I think what people are trying to price in today is the potential of a 0.5%. But again, let's see what the Fed actually come through and do today. I can report on that again tomorrow, so we've got a more clear idea of what's going on in the market there. So let's have a look at the TA here. We've got Bitcoin on the daily, and everyone's crapping the bed because look at the percentages. Everything is absolutely tanking. Zill's not. I actually did take a leverage trade on Zill last night and closed it because I crapped the bed because I saw Bitcoin coming down. But anyway, that's by the by. Everything's tanking basically. And that's because Bitcoin's coming down basically. Bitcoin's coming down. Everyone's scared in the market because of this FOMC meeting. Potential 0.5% I think is what people are pricing in. But whether that happens or not, we yet to see. We'll see tonight. But let's have a look at the TA and what are we looking for here. So I've drawn this support line in at around 44,800 ish. Exactly where we are right now for a few reasons. As we talked about before, it's the range high of this previous resistance of this range that we've been stuck in. It also acted as resistance here back in September 2022. September 21, and it also acted as support back in February of 21. So we didn't have a candle close really below this area in that period. We didn't have a candle close above, and we definitely didn't have a candle close above in this range. It's doubled up on the daily with a 200-day moving average. That's the exponential moving average. It's doubled up with that as support. So actually a very bullish structure if we can hold the daily close above this level. We're flirting with it at the minute. So we want to see a bit of a push off. The things that aren't that bullish are the RSI has crossed bearish here. The last time we saw that happen was up here. So all the way up here really on the daily. So that's quite a bearish pattern, but then we did actually increase in value a little bit further. And we saw it happen here. So that's here. And we did have a bit of a capitulation event after that. But it's just basically been chopping up and down on the RSI. If you take it out to a further time frame, you can see we have crossed bullish, and we are still bullish on that RSI, and it looks like quite a good bullish pennant. So that would be a continuation pattern, like a 68% chance continuation on a structure like that. So it's not all doom and gloom. There's an extra thing that I want to throw into this equation, which is that it's Bitcoin 2022 starts today. Oftentimes you do see, if you see a rally into a big event like this, then you normally get a dump, and sometimes if you see a dump, you can get a rally. So it's everyone's on a knife edge at the minute. I think that's because of obviously geopolitical events We've got the FOMC meeting tightening. No one really knows where to put the money, what's safe, what's not safe. Then you've got like the Bitcoin Miami conference. Have we priced that in? Do we expect anything bullish to come from it? No one really knows. So today and tomorrow, very interesting days to keep your eyes on the news and the markets. Remember last year at Bitcoin Miami, we had El Salvador come out and announce Bitcoin is going to be a legal tender in El Salvador. What are we going to get today, tomorrow, the next day? I personally believe the best speculation, like the best thing that we could see, is some companies come out and say they've been approved for a spot Bitcoin ETF. That's possible. We may see another country come out. We know Brazil's finance minister is there in Miami at the minute. Could that be a possibility? That would be massive if we see something like that. Or are we going to see any other institutions add Bitcoin to their balance sheet? Who knows? One thing that is massively positive that I haven't actually got up for this YouTube video is the on-chain analysis for Bitcoin is very good right now, meaning that the large wallets the large wallets are 1,000 Bitcoin or more, and the wallets between 0 and 1 Bitcoin are really accumulating Bitcoin. And you can go and check that out on Glassnode if you want to go and check that. I can probably show you it in a minute. So Big Bear Crypto, I think he might be on it with this. He said, I smell a Bitcoin 2022 bear trap in full progress. That means that the price is going down and then a rally into the event, which often happens. So honestly, when you see events happening for crypto, often whatever happens before the event, it goes the opposite way. So that's what I've got my eye on. And then Jan Wes, that's not great at pronunciations, guys. He says, brace for a wild ride the next few weeks, months. A lot of hawkish comments from the Fed today. As it stands, now dropping the market would also mean dropping Bitcoin. High correlation between equities and Bitcoin. But it's all talk right now. So I have to see if they follow through. So that's exactly what I've been trying to get across to you guys. And then, as I said, we've got Bitcoin Miami conference starting today. There's a lot of hype around it. What's going to happen specifically, we don't know. But it's exciting. It's exciting to see, and we'll keep you up to date with what is going on there. Then we had Michael Saylor, who's obviously a massive proponent for Bitcoin. Did an interview with Raoul Pal. This is from yesterday. Michael Saylor owns MicroStrategy, and I think they own a mad amount of Bitcoin. They've bought some more yesterday. I'm going to put MicroStrategy Bitcoin holding. Let's see how much they've got now. A lot. It's a blooming lot. So 5,050 Bitcoin. And he gives us not strange, but a different perspective onto a way to look at Bitcoin. And I want to just play this for you guys quickly, just a little clip. He's talking about Bitcoin. He talks about two different things, or a few different approaches in this interview. He talked about Bitcoin being digital energy and also digital property. So let's just listen to these. It's only about 30 seconds that I want to listen to because I think it's just important to see his perspective. So it's an interesting perspective. They're saying that your money's safer in Bitcoin because of the appreciation of the asset. Also, like, you can move it from place to place. Like, they basically talk about that no one can come and put in like a new law to say that rental properties are going to get taken by the government or anything like that. So they're the different things they talk about, that you can cash it out in different jurisdictions for different taxes. You don't have to pay maintenance tax on it. Like, all these sorts of things. They're trying to argue those points for Bitcoin specifically. I think it's definitely interesting to take that perspective. I can understand why they're saying that. And then another point that he really hones in on is digital energy. He's saying that you can't store electricity like for longer than 3 years, and Like it costs however much to send it from place to place in percentages of the energy. He said, well, if you convert that energy into Bitcoin by like using a Bitcoin miner, obviously use the electricity to buy Bitcoin, you can then send that Bitcoin somewhere else and then they can cash that out. So he's basically saying that it's a store of energy. And I think the concept is very interesting. I think that the idea and the neutrality of Bitcoin in terms of decentralization is a very interesting argument and something to talk about. I don't know if he's right or wrong. He'll only be right if that's the way the rest of the world perceives it, in a strange way to say. I know that sounds like a bit of a standoffish comment from me, but the thing that I don't understand is why would you pick Bitcoin to be a store of energy and a store of value when you could just pick something like XRP specifically? And I know that I obviously have an emotional attachment to XRP. I know I have a bias to it, but I still don't understand what benefits Bitcoin has over XRP apart from the decentralized aspect. And I get why that's important. I really, really do. I get why the security and the decentralization is important. And the XRP ledger and XRP is decentralized. The only reason I would say that Bitcoin is superior in that way is just because someone owns a majority share of XRP or a large amount of the XRP that's not in circulation. They own, like Ripple are stewards of the escrow. They have 50 billion XRP. No, they can't dump it on the market, but they still have that under their jurisdiction. So, like, I can understand his argument. I just think long term it's flawed. He's trying to make the long term argument that it's a good store of wealth long term, and it may be, but long term, as in like 20 years, it's a flawed argument because there's going to be better tech coming. There is, and XRP is already better tech. Just they both have their issues in terms of like. When you can argue different sides of the argument, but that's basically my point with that. Like, there's no more really to say about it. Like, I don't disagree with what Michael Saylor's saying. I can understand the network effect. I can understand the percentage return on investment that he's talked about. I can understand even how you might perceive it as a transfer of energy. But I just don't know if he's bang on the money. And no one's going to know for the next 10 years. So fair enough, he's placing all his money there. You know what you're getting into. The one thing I don't like about it, and he even states this in this interview, is that he doesn't want anything to be changed with Bitcoin. He wants it to stay the way it is. And I personally don't think that's the way to succeed in life, especially with a rapidly innovating world that we live in. Tech's growing at like absolute massively, so why would you be closed to innovation on Bitcoin? So he's like, yeah, you can build layer 1s, layer 2s, you can build layer 2s, layer 3s, whatever. He talks about like CeFi, centralized finance on layer 3s, but it's like, bro, if the fundamental core of your asset can be improved, why would you be against that? That's just something that I don't really understand. I never have, and like, I don't want to say he's a Bitcoin maxi, but he is. So that's one thing that I think that Bitcoin maxis get wrong. And not all of them, I can't generalize, but I think in any asset, if there's a way that it can be improved, why would you not do that? Or at least be open to the discussion to do it. And I think that the energy narrative may come and bite Bitcoin in the bum at some point, but we'll see. So just getting on quickly, Sweden wants to test this e-corona viability for smart payments. They've tested it a little bit, but they basically are worried about privacy concerns. Sweden have been pretty far forwards in terms of e-money or central bank digital currencies. That's just one thing I really needed to mention. It says concepts such as programmable money, smart payments are said to be the future of payments, and this is used as an argument in favour of new technology, said the central bank. So we'll see what happens there. Then we've got this big news for Ripple XRP. XRP stays strong as more payment providers leverage on Ripple. I'm personally under the speculation at the minute. I've been looking at the possibility that our price movements in XRP specifically aren't really retail based. I think that there's definitely an argument to say that they could be based on volume on the network and ODL corridors being open. So this basically says that iRemit, a non-bank remittance partner that uses Ripple's open digital ledger for Australia to Philippines remittances, recently announced a partnership with Velo Labs to access 34 billion cross-border payments market of the Philippines. Navati joined Ripple's ODL service last year to leverage digital asset XRP. Its volume's 2 billion a day, basically. And that's basically the end of that discussion. It's just talking about, this is quite interesting actually. Digital banking has grown to dominate the APAC region, which is like Asia Pacific, with 20% of approximately 250 digital banks located there, which is worldwide. They're basically saying that APAC are leading the way in terms of innovative technology in regards to payments. And then this is what I just wanted to finish on, guys. We've got two things I want to leave with you to think about. So we talked about this before yesterday. The FCA are leading a crypto sprint, basically meaning that they're trying to rush but get regulatory framework out there as fast as possible. They say they're going to implement it by 2023. They say stablecoins are going to be a form of payment, and I really wanted to hammer this home because when in our lifetime, my lifetime, maybe even generations above me and generations above them, when have we ever been able to use something that's not sovereign currency within a country? When in the UK have we ever been able to pay in anything that's not the pound? This is what's happening right now, guys, and I really think people are just kind of like brushing over it. I think it's absolutely insane. The fact that America are talking about there might be a more than one reserve currency as well. Like, there are loads of different things to take into consideration at the minute. I really, really would stay on top of these sort of articles, and I'll keep you updated as much as I can, guys. I'm obviously only one person. There's so much going on. So if anyone sees anything, bring it to my attention. I'll report on it for you and give you my opinion. But I just really wanted to hammer home the importance of a potential stablecoin, well, stablecoins being a form of recognized payment, which is what it says, and also the NFT, which we're going to talk about in 1 second, but also the fact that DLT is going to be explored for country sovereign debt, which is a joke. So that's like bonds and stuff, and it's potentially on the XRP ledger. It's my speculation. Rishi Sunak asked Royal Mint to create an NFT. There's been very big mixed emotions about this. Loads of people saying that he's like an embarrassment and the timing's ridiculous and all this sort of stuff. But I just think that really emphasizes the lack of understanding that people have about the area, the area that we're in. Like, we're going to bring jobs to the UK, and if they do create the UK as the crypto financial capital of the world, I think we'll grow leaps and bounds. I think this asset class, as you guys know, is going to come on hugely. I'd love to know what you guys think about this. A Royal Mint NFT, I don't know what it will do. It may do something, it may not. They basically said it's going to be an emblem to represent that the UK want to be a world leader. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Share this video if you enjoyed it. Hit that like button and subscribe if you don't already, because I see you guys watching my videos who aren't subbed. Hit that notification bell if you want to be notified when I put out a new video. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and I'll speak to you on the next one. Peace up, A-Town down, as Usher would say.